Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and right now you can get this sweet scoop soldier sticker when you order over at cardkingdom.com. Just mention in your order notes that you want a scoop soldier sticker when you go to checkout. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another instant deck, and today we are heading to Standard for a deck that is super sweet and also very cheap. This is white-black Hateful auras for Standard. Kind of this weird, almost control aggro enchantment deck. And it's only $70 in paper, 60 ticks on Magic Online, and 22 rares, something like that, on Arena. So very cheap, easy to put together, and looks super sweet. It comes to us from Ulen Spitschitman, who took it to a 5-0 finish in a League on Magic Online. I know I butchered that name, but that's okay. So congrats to Ulen on a really sweet deck. And a quick reminder before we break down white-black Hateful auras for Standard. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment. Anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So white-black Hateful auras is this weird mixture of like enchantments, auras, enchantment payoffs. So we start off in the 1-drop slot with Hateful Eidolon, which is one of the most important pieces of our deck. Just a 1/2 for 1 with lifelink that draws us cards with creatures enchanted with our auras die. So this could be us killing our opponent's creatures with our auras, or just loading up our own creatures with auras and having them die naturally. So this is an engine that keeps us churning through our deck. Paya's Wayfinder just gets pretty big. It's technically a 1/2 for 1, but if we can play an enchantment, thanks to Constellation, it'll become a 2/3, which is a pretty respectable 1-drop. Couple of enchantments, it could be even like a 3 or 4 powered attacker, which is actually very aggressive and powerful for a 1-drop. So these cards start off our curve on turn number 1. Continuing with our creatures, we get a bunch of ways to make our enchantments cheaper. Starfield Mystic, just a 2/2 for 2 that makes our enchantments cost 1 less and grows as our enchantments go to the graveyard, so it can become a really meaningful threat. And then Transcendent Envoy gives us a flyer to stick our auras on, also reduces the cost of our auras by 1, so these cards allow us to just cast a whole bunch of enchantments / auras in 1 turn. Rounding out our creature base, we get a couple of enchantment-y 2-drops, so these cards get cheaper thanks to some of our discounts. They are enchantments, so they trigger Constellation, and they work pretty well with the plan of our deck. Ephemia the Cacophony lets us make 2/2 zombies by exiling enchantments from our graveyard. We're going to have enchantments going in there as we cast auras. Our creatures dies. Our things enchanted with our auras, our removal auras die. So we're going to have a graveyard full of enchantments. So this is hopefully going to be making a 2/2 every turn. And a 2/1 flyer for 2 that just makes a free 2/2 every turn is actually a very effective creature in the Standard format. And then 1 Eidolon of Obstruction. Meh, I think this card's really bad. But it is an enchantment creature. It's a 2/1 first striker. It triggers Constellation. So considering that its ability just doesn't do that much, it's still an enchantment creature, so it does have some upside in our deck. So that's our creature package. What are we using enchantment-wise? So first off, we have our big finishing enchantment, which is All That Glitters. The way we close out the game, most commonly with this deck, is just kind of cast our stuff, chip in for some damage, eventually find All That Glitters, stick it on a creature, smash our opponent with just a massive like 10-powered flyer or something to close out the game. So All That Glitters, our best finisher. Then we have a couple of enchantments that are pumpy. Sentinel's Eyes, Mogus's Favor. Sentinel's Eyes, just Vigilance and +1/+1. Comes back from the graveyard for 1 mana, so it's a good way to grind out value with Hateful Eidolon. As our creatures die, we draw cards and we get back Sentinel's Eidolon. That creature dies, draw more cards. Mogus's Favor can pick off small creatures as a removal spell, or it can pump our creatures. +2 for just 3 mana from our graveyard, 1 mana from our hand. Then we have our removal enchantment. So when it comes to actually trigger our Hateful Eidolon, putting our All That Glitters and Sentinel's Eyes on our creatures and having them die is fine, but the best way to do it is killing our opponent's creatures with auras. So Deadweight, Mire's Grasp, give creatures -2, -2, -3, -3. Mogus's Favor, technically -1 toughness if we can get it on the right creature. So these are good at picking off small creatures, and we can combine them together to pick off bigger creatures. Like Mire's Grasp plus Deadweight is going to kill most of the things in the format, and then when that creature dies, if we have Hateful Eidolon, we're going to draw a bunch of cards because a bunch of our auras are going to the graveyard with the creature dying. So removal that can also be our main source of card advantage, really. Otherwise, Temerate Calls the Dead, Makes some zombies, scries maybe, fills our graveyard with enchantments for Ephemia, gets our escape enchantments in the graveyard. In the mana base, we get some dual lands, get some basic lands, pretty standard stuff. In the sideboard, we get a bunch of removal. Gideon's Triumph for attacking creatures, Noxious Grass for green things, Banishing Light hits anything, Doom Foretold little slow but repeatedly grinds out value. We can keep sacking like Sentinel's Eyes or our other escape stuff on repeat. Disenchant for artifacts and enchantment. Kaya Orzhov Usurper can pick off graveyard stuff like Uro, can hit small creatures against mono red. Drillbit Unbreakable Formation for control, a Thoughtseize and a way to protect against Wrath. And that is white-black Hateful Auras. Budget white-black Hateful Auras for standard. And that's been our instant deck tag for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.